Former Guantanamo Bay detainee Mozam Beg has arrived at Westminster Magistrates Court. He's been charged. The Oscar-winning actor Philip Seymour Hoffman died from an accidental drugs overdose. Just to warn you, these pictures contain flash photography. The 46-year-old passed away at his apartment in New York on February the 2nd. The medical examiner's office. Tourism businesses affected by the recent flooding are to be given a £2 million boost, the Culture Secretary. An ancient Roman sculpture. Coming up next here on Sky. Let's take a look at the sport. Here's Charlie. Our top story then, Ukraine is accusing the Kremlin of an armed invasion after Russia reportedly brought 6,000 extra troops into the Crimea region. But the Kremlin says it's Kiev's politicians who are attempting to destabilise the situation on the peninsula after unidentified gunmen from Kiev tried to seize official offices in the region. Sam Kiley reports. Well, Dr. Domitilla Sacramoso from the Department of War Studies at King's College joins me now. Domitilla, thank you for coming in again. The situation is very tense, very precarious in the Crimea area. What is being made of it, do you think, in Kiev, both the politicians and the people there?
Well, I think the government...
Then is the Russian authorities thinking that there are Russian forces on the ground? There are also these unidentified forces, with Russia saying actually it's people from Kiev coming in to try and take control. I mean, does Russia want to take Crimea? I mean, that sounds so dramatic language, but do you know what I mean? Usher it into its corner.
I think one of
the international community in a sticky situation as to what to do about it. Do you equate in any way what is happening there in Crimea, in Ukraine, with what happened in Georgia? Sky News has obtained exclusive CCTV footage of Oscar Pistorius and his girlfriend, Riva Steenkamp, just 10 days before he killed her. The athlete goes on trial on Monday for her murder. Our special correspondent Alex Crawford has been looking at the couple's relationship. Former Guantanamo Bay detainee Mozam Beg has pleaded not guilty. Coming up here on Sky News, Murray was hoping to reach his first final of the year. We'll show you how he got. One of the most talked about films of the Oscars is 12 Years a Slave. It tells the tale of Solomon Northup, a successful black man from New York who is abducted and sold into slavery. Our US correspondent Amanda Walker travelled to Saratoga Springs, where he grew up. Ed Miliband has a special meeting today in East London of the Labour Party. He arrived a short time ago to that meeting in East London. It's reforms to how they're throughout the day. Now, though, sport.
This is Sky News with Lorna Dunkley.
Good morning. Ukraine is accusing the Kremlin of an armed invasion after Russia reportedly brought 6,000 extra troops into the Crimea region. But the Kremlin says it's Kiev's politicians who are attempting to destabilise the situation on the peninsula after unidentified gunmen tried to seize official offices in the region. Sky's Sam Kiley reports, and some of sorts justification from the Kremlin for them being there.
Yes, there's been a slightly confusing statement coming out of the Russian Foreign Ministry saying or condemning what they say.
Coming up, we've got all the sport with Charlie, and also we'll take a look again at these. You're watching Sky News. It is time for Saturday Sports with Aaron. Hello, Aaron. Busy, Aaron. Thank you very much. Let's take a look at the weather forecast now. Coming up in the next hour here on Sky News, we're live in Ukraine as Russia's...
This is Sky News with Lorna Dunkley.
Good afternoon. There is claim and counterclaim from Russia and Ukraine this lunchtime as the crisis in Crimea becomes increasingly militarised. The authorities in Kiev say Russia has transferred 6,000 personnel to the region, but insist they will not give in to provocative actions. Russia's foreign ministry has accused Ukraine of a treacherous provocation after it says gunmen were sent to seize Crimea's interior. As editor Sam Kiley reports. As editor Sam Kiley, but first let's go to Sky's senior correspondent Alex Rossi, who is in Simferopol in the Crimea. Alex, what exactly is happening where you are?
Well, I'm outside the...
Here, Sam, I know you've got some new information from around Europe to bring us, but let's just catch up on some of these news lines that are coming in. The AFP news agency saying Russia could send troops to Crimea, according to the upper house speaker. That being quoted on the AFP news agency. In Crimea, the Coast Guard headquarters is surrounded by pro-Russian armed men. That's according to border police, being quoted by the AFP news agency, and according to Interfax, because of the that coming from the Ukrainian finance minister, but because of the turmoil, the unrest there, and money very important as to what happens next in Ukraine. That being discussed in Kiev. So Sam Kiley is here. A lot of developments today, Sam, and you know that something serious must be going on in the country when so many other European countries come out with statements about what is going on.
Got both.
It'll stagnate, if you like, over the next, 3 or 4 weeks, because the Crimean Parliament has agreed today to bring forward a referendum on its status. We don't know what the exact question will be, but that could put everything into a holding pattern until the Parliament decides what it wants.
Well, this is where Russia has...
Of course, this news conference is still taking place there in Crimea.